Hi, my name is Alfredo. On this video, I'm going to analyze a rehearsal about a brass orchestra. Um, I could identify two main aspects. One is about music technique, and the other is about pedagogical approach. As I mentioned earlier, the class was for brass instrument, and there were two rows, and most of the class was about playing the B flat scale, occasionally adding E flat, F, and G minor scales. The first activity that I could identify was that the two rows were asked to play the B flat scale simultaneously. The back row had to play it by whole notes, and the front row had to play it by half notes. Well, I could identify that the teacher walks around the class, I think, trying to listen into them, trying to get, a wide appreciation of how the students are carrying out the task. On the second time they are asked to play the scale again, one of the students from the back row plays a 16th A note, while the rest of them are still playing the B flat whole note. The teacher moves forward to this row, I think, to identify which student might be needing guidance to develop the correct technique to play the instrument. He identifies one student, and he asks her to play the note two more times until she get the correct pitch, because he mentioned that she is not pushing fast enough to get the correct pitch. So I find in this specifically in this part of the video, I found a good practice when he comments, when he tells her that he's not judging her, and tells her that it's okay. So I think he gives her confidence to keep on the activity, like to keep on playing. And I think that is a good practice, to give confidence to your students, to tell them that what they are doing is good, and opens the way so that you can later give them feedback, and they will be open to you, to receive what you have to tell them. So on the other hand, later I found not a good practice, because he asked another student to play the same note, and I think here he kind of create an uncomfortable situation, because after his commentary, the rest of the class started laughing. So I don't exactly what he taught the student, but I think it was not a proper commentary, because of the reaction. There are other three activities in which the students play the B flat and the F flat scale simultaneously, then the B flat and the E flat simultaneously, and finally the B flat and the G minor scale simultaneously. I think here it's like I could identify a lot of aspects. Musically, it is very interesting due to the fact that the other scales different than the B flat scale include notes which don't belong naturally to B flat scale, and but what caught my attention is the fact that the students are not asked about how they are perceiving what they are doing, what they are playing. Specifically, this part is about harmony, and it's about harmony of fifths, but the students don't talk about or don't mention how they feel when playing them, how they perceive the sound, you know, the sounds like happening together. They don't mention what thoughts, what feelings, what circumstances come to them when playing them, when listening to them. And also, it is never mentioned the theory behind it. You know, like because there is a theory behind it, and the students seem to be only developing technical skills, which is good and is very important, but I think it's half of the process. The other part is like my appreciation, and the students' appreciation. How they are perceiving what they are doing. They are not asked to self-evaluate. You know, like it's very important how they perceive themselves, what they think about themselves, about what they are doing, what they are getting, because those activities complement the teaching learning process. If I can receive feedback from someone, it's also important that I can receive feedback from myself so that I can complete my learning process. And finally, I think the body gestures and the way of how you talk, how you modulate your voice is very important. And sometimes I found that the teacher kind of was into a shell when he crossed his arms, and you know, like he started talking to the students, but he was like this. So I think that kind of breaks the connection between you and your students. As a teacher, I think, and I recommend that you need to be open, you know, like this is me. I'm going to try to guide you, and I want to learn from you, and I expect that you learn from me as well. So I think those are also important aspects that we need to consider as teachers. So thank you for listening to me. Sorry for the 30 seconds.